Sup, y'all? Another World of Warships Wednesday coming at you. Today I'm playing the Bogue again, and this time I was squatted up or divisioned up in World of Warships speak with Kazul, and I'll talk about how we ended up squatting up there for a second. So first off, you see me setting up my motion for my Bogue to get it moving. Then I'm going to program out where I've got all my aircraft going. Now I'm using the strike package basically with the Bogue this time, which is the 2 bombers and the 1 torpedo plane, no fighters. So the point of the squad here was I'd been playing by myself in a couple different, I think I was using my Minikaze maybe. I was just out just randomly generally playing ships, and Kazul was in a battle playing his carrier. I think he had the Zuiho. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was the Zuiho. And we just got talking in the general chatter in the battle, and said finished that battle, went off to another battle, and then finished that one, and the one after that he was in the battle again, and I said, oh, hey, hi. And so we got talking again and said, oh, we should squad up. And I said, that would be, we were talking about carriers, because he was getting a whole bunch of kills in that very first battle. And so I said, I'm hoping for the chance I get to squad up with somebody and use my strike Bogue, and then have somebody else with fighters, so I don't take a chance. And like in this battle, I'm the only carrier and I have no fighters, so I'm reliant on our friendly ships for anti-aircraft if my planes get into trouble. So initially, shooting my guys to the middle for a little recce and maybe an early strike here, so they're kind of spreading out a little bit, heading for B. We've decided we're going to go for A and B here. So I redirected my ship up to the northwest there. So we've got multiple ships coming in here with these 2 destroyers. And unfortunately, my first bomb crew misses terribly. And then my torpedo squadron didn't take my redirect command on them, although the bomb hits right there on that destroyer were pretty good, but unfortunately they're going to dodge. They'll dodge the torpedoes. But not a terribly bad first strike there. He does just barely whisk his way out of the way. It wasn't too bad of a strike. So you see, I do pretty good with my manual drops with both my bombers and my torpedoes throughout this battle. So one thing we discovered going back to divisioning up with Kazul here was you actually can't have 2 aircraft carriers in the same division, which I think is strange because you can have 2 aircraft carriers in a battle, so I just figured that would... Neither one of us knew that. We thought it would work, but unfortunately, when he came in with his carrier and I chose my Bogue, and it would say limit of only 1 aircraft carrier per division, so that was kind of annoying. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to have us find a division, a battle with no aircraft carriers, people trying to fight, and just put us in that battle, but such as it is. At any rate, you can see our guys doing pretty well here. This is a really nice dodge by the Texas there on those torpedoes. May have lost some paint down the side of his underhull, but he didn't take any hits.
Waypoint reached.
Group 2 ready for takeoff.
So Kazul and I were basically alternating who got to drive the carrier and who drove something else here. This just happened to be my turn with the carriers. As soon as we would both get knocked out, we would go back to the port. And of course, if your ship is still in battle, you can't use it again, so we would just alternate. One of us would be the carrier and one of us would be something else. He's using his Kirov, and I was using my Minikaze. But not this battle. So, right here, I was going to send my aircraft strikes all the way out around to the west and try and find his carrier, because I can see that most of the enemy fleet is moving down there in the southeast. And pretty quickly, I kind of abandoned that idea and figure, well, if most of their fleet is down there in the southeast, there's really nothing in between me and them, so I'm going to send my guys back here and decide, you know, the carrier can wait. He's not really threatening me at this point. And we got to do something about the enemy ships. This strike coming up here on the South Carolina, I was particularly proud of. Just kind of shows what... I mean, granted, he's got no anti-aircraft capability, really. But it definitely goes to show you what a coordinated strike by multiple units hitting the same target can do. And they don't quite all arrive at the target at the same time, because of course the guys up front have to fly past them and then turn around and come back in. But it actually works out. Works out pretty well.
We're under attack. Group 2 engaging enemy.
There's the torpedoes off. The first bomb strike hits. Get good hits there. And watch these torpedoes. Nothing you can do.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
There's kill number 1. Not bad. Haven't really been threatened by the enemy carrier. Now, I definitely do see there's an enemy destroyer over there getting close. Which, thankfully, I've got a couple of friendly cruisers nearby. But he dumps smoke and then disappears. So I'm going to send one of my bomber units back here. Instead of returning to the carrier, I'm going to send them over here to be reconnaissance. And try and spot that destroyer for my guys. So at least if he fires torpedoes, they get more advance warning on the torpedoes than when they suddenly are within their own spotter's range. He's already fired one of his batches of torpedoes. But I'm just going to have my number 4 squadron here just circle around over the top of that smoke and wait to spot the destroyer coming out. Spot the carrier for our team, which probably was a mistake because half our team goes after him now instead of staying up and defending the 2 positions we hold. Alright, there's the destroyer coming out. Since he's out and he's shooting at me, that means he's not concerned with being concealed, so I send my bombers back and bring my other planes in to go after him. I am definitely concerned right now with this destroyer being this close. If our cruiser doesn't get him, and unfortunately our cruiser sails right into his torpedoes. So now there's nothing between myself and this destroyer. So, immediate priority. Emergency priority, in fact. Get there, boys. And get the carrier moving so it doesn't accidentally stop.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
This was also a pretty darn good hit, I gotta say. Torpedoes and bombs at the same time. Devastating strike. See you later. Which gave me a lot more breathing room for my carrier. So, that was a close one, but luckily my bombers came through. So I'll get my other aircraft, my number 4 squadron, back out off the deck and down after this battleship getting close. I know there is a cruiser coming up the east side. In the 10 column there, but still. Battleship's more of a concern right now because he's closer to our fleet. Now you can see almost our entire fleet went off in the same spot after our enemy carrier down there. In a moment, I decided that this video was probably going to be worth recording, so there's going to be a little bit of a hiccup here coming up right about now. And that is the transition between DVRing the video with Shadowplay and then starting the new manual recording with Shadowplay, so that's what that was. And like our guy said in chat there, you need to not all go after that carrier. So I've got this cruiser that was coming up the 1 column or 10 column trapped here, and I really like that. I'm actually really proud of this manual drop here because his entire ship is inside it. All my guys miss, but I did manually do the drop correctly, so Still happy with it, even though I kind of chalked that one up to RNG because I couldn't have had that
Waypoint
targeting ellipse any better over his ship. But such as it is. So now we've lost the two, well, we've lost the center point there, and we've got nobody near it. Our guys are all heading down after the carrier, unfortunately.
maintaining present course.
Except for Kazul, who came back to help defend me. So, I'm gonna help him. Get all my guys after this German cruiser here. But you can't resist seeing a battleship trapped between two islands and getting torpedoes on them. That is such a perfectly positioned torpedo attack scenario right there.
We're under attack.
And in fact, this is one of my best torpedo strikes of my aircraft carrier career so far in World of Warships. As you will see, just barely score 3. Big hits on him. Quite a bit of damage. Quite happy with that hit. Those hits, I should say. So, get my bombers after back after that battleship. He should have used his repair for the flooding that I caused, so I'm going to get my bombers there and try to set them on fire as quickly as I can. And you'll notice he's got almost no health left, but luckily that destroyer down there had just put up smoke for him right as my bombers arrive. So my bombers are just going to have to kind of hang out here and wait for him to come back out of the smoke, which is fine. They're going to. Or he's going to, rather, and they're going to catch him eventually, so it's not really a problem. But it's a slight waste of time, and it takes up my attention while I'm waiting for him to show up. I can't just fire and forget my bombers on him and wait for them to hit him. But before too long, he'll come out and I get my guys in on him. He's on fire. And I'll bring the torpedo planes back in on him as well.
Group 2 taking fire.
Another nice manual drop, and it pays out.
Group 2 returning.
He's not getting away from that spread.
Enemy battleship foundered.
There's 3 for the match.
Taking fire. Returning.
Good fire set on that cruiser.
The enemy is about to win.
We're in a bit of a ticket problem with the two points captured. Now you see all of our ships, all of our friendly ships down there in the west side are gone. It's a 2-on-2. Just lost Kazul up there from the battleship, unfortunately. So it's myself and that battleship way down in the south against a battleship and a cruiser. The battleship will show himself in a moment. I probably should have moved my Bogue down into B and chanced getting sunk to try and recapture B. I didn't. But
Waypoint reached.
the good thing is the enemy carrier is gone, so I'm free and clear to strike as hard as I can with my strike groups here. However, I do have a bit of a travel time on my guys right now, which I should have shortened down. So now, with 3 kills, I'm starting to look at the possibility of a Kraken here. Really thinking I've got a good chance at it. Set that guy on fire again. I know he's used his repair already. Now, unfortunately, I don't get my I get my torpedoes off, and he burns out before the torpedoes hit. So, sadly, the torpedoes were a waste here, which is too bad, because I really could have used them on the battleship, who just now reveals himself. So my torpedoes are launched off in the middle of nowhere. There's my 4th kill, so I'm really thinking Kraken now. But my torpedo planes are heading the wrong direction without any ordnance right now, which is really too bad, because he was trapped along those islands, and I probably could have gotten a really good manual drop on him. So I want our Soldier of Misfortune down there to get into the sea point and at least break it off so that we're not losing so many tickets, but he chooses to go around the island, which is completely understandable. He goes around the island to the south because he's got a battleship bearing down on him straight ahead, and he's broadside to it. So I completely understand that. It's just unfortunate we just run out of time on the tickets here. So I've got a great chance on this New Mexico with my strike planes, but we're just going to run out of time. As you can see, we're already over 900 tickets. And our ally battleship is just not quite going to make it to the point in time. He's full health, which is a problem. This is what I was saying. My torpedoes that I wasted on the cruiser there just a minute ago could have been put to really good use here on this New Mexico, who's pretty much out of maneuvering room. There's a good hit on the... Good hit with the fire there. But the rest of my planes are just too far away, and you can see they're getting 8 ticket points every time the ticket points update. And that math is not going to work out in our favor as quickly as they're getting tickets. As you can see, my planes are just not going to get there in time, and Soldier of Misfortune is not quite going to make it there in time either, so I'm going to fall just a little bit short of the Kraken on this one. But still, it was a very pleasing battle with very good results. So, I still enjoyed it, and my best ship sinking effort so far with an aircraft carrier. You saw my video last week with my 42 air kills. That's my still best results with shooting down planes, but here's my best result in sinking ships with an aircraft carrier. So you can see the score report here. 7 torpedo hits, 12 bomb hits. Good score. Good score across the board. Top, and Gazul came in second. And here's the rest of the results. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week for another World of Warships.